Hi, my name is Cassandra Ratzliff, and this is my comprehensive project for literacy assessment and intervention. I just kind of want to talk about overall my experience, so some of my struggles from the beginning, and just how it got easier, and the things that I learned from this class. So in the beginning, I was really pretty nervous. The idea of creating lesson plans seemed overwhelming. Just the magnitude of them, they felt like a lot, and making sure I had plenty of activities, that the assessments were going to be done correctly, that I was going to be able to build relationships with these students in such a short time, to where they felt safe and like this was a trusted, like I had an invested interest in them, and that I really wanted them to learn, and how could I just, start to do all of these things. And then I worry, just having experience in the classroom, you always worry that there will be some kind of behaviors maybe you'll have to just handle before you can get to the lesson plans, and you already have this short amount of time. So these are just kind of all like the nerves that I was having as we started. But as we, started going, the lesson plans became a lot easier, knowing where to find the resources. Once I kind of found, in the book, like how I was looking for those, and I got to know my students, it really made it a lot easier to know, okay, this is what they need, or little filler activities I could see. Okay, well, Lily struggles with multi-syllabic words, so maybe I could put this activity in, or this game that they can be working on, or she can work on while I assess Zoe. Those kind of things, just learning to juggle it became natural. And by the end, I felt like lesson plans were taking not 3 hours, but like 30 minutes. And I was kind of getting comfortable with the standards, and that was helpful. I also found where I could download an app on my phone, because I'm also long-term subbing in 6th grade. So I found an app on my phone that has the Kansas standards, and that made it a lot easier just to kind of like quick reference, finding extra standards that we were hitting or we could hit. So that was huge. A friend told me about that. I think the biggest thing that I learned with these assessments is finding gaps is so important. Zoe and Lily are both not low in their grade. They're strong readers, good students. That was my first impression. But then as we were doing these assessments, one major thing I noticed about Lily is she's a strong reader, and she did a great job. But when she was reading a story, but when she went to read them just in those fluency words on those phonics tests and the fluency tests, she struggled, because it wasn't in the context of the story. She couldn't guess what the word was, and I quickly found that was a struggle for her. So then I would constantly add something to that effect. Most of the time in my lessons, I could find little short activities or books that had that, and then focusing in on that when we came to those words for her. So I think that's what I learned. Like, strong readers may still have areas that they struggle, and I think that that's important, not to let even what seems like your strongest kids just slide by. That's important. Just tools for the future. I have so many resources now, places to find information, ideas for engaging activities. Like, I found the roll and retail games are so fun for them. My students loved Epic. We would get on Epic on the iPads and pick stories and read them together. And Epic has everything from informational text, fiction text. Epic was nice. If I needed to work with one student, I could have the other student read a story on Epic, and then we talk about it when we're done. We used Epic just to do a whole lesson one time. We read a story together. It was actually an assessment. It was a retail assessment. So we read the story together, and then I pulled each girl individually and just talked to them about the story and predictions that they had made before we talked about, and then we kind of talked about if those predictions came true, things like that. So it just created so much room for discussion and engaging discussion, because there was lots of pictures and it was just interesting to the kids. Relationships. So I work in a trauma-informed district, and we have trauma training probably at least once a semester. And it is so amazing how just building relationships with all students, not just trauma, kids who've had trauma, but those 3-to-1 interactions, those positive 3-to-1. So for every one negative, hopefully there's been 3 positive that you've spoken into that child, whether it's just, hey, I like the way you're holding your pencil. Hey, I like how you really, really worked hard to solve this problem. You were so creative in this problem-solving activity. With my 6th graders, sometimes it's as simple as, hey, I like your hair today, or I'm so glad you're here today. Just something that validates that relationship. So really seeing that evidence of how important, just being excited when they're there. You know, you get your tutoring students and you're like, hey, I'm so happy it's Monday and I get to tutor you today. And my tutoring girls, they just loved tutoring so much. They were so sad when it was over, and that was just so encouraging. That finally, you know, gaining those relationships that I was hoping to have, and just it went so fast, and I felt like in the beginning where it was so scary, and then at the end where it was almost like bittersweet that it was over, and I kind of missed it and missed the girls and getting to do these fun interactive lessons with them, and especially that one-on-one is so nice. I teach a classroom of 6 or 20, so to have 2 students, it was so nice just to get to sit and do these lessons with them and watch them learn and watch the light bulb come on, and just see them overcome some of those struggles that they had in the beginning. So this was such a valuable experience for me that I will take into my teaching career, and I learned so many great tools and just lessons about persevering with your students and just keep trying. And if something doesn't work, try something else to get them thriving at their grade level or beyond. And so I'm just really thankful for it, and I'm just thankful that we all got this experience together and we got to discuss together and learn from each other. It was a great experience.